We're just ordinary people living ordinary lives until we see someone on TV win a $25,000 prize. Come on down. I'll play any game for 10 seconds of fame. Come on down. I'll make a deal, just let me spin the wheel. Come on down. To win $1 million, all you need is a little luck and thorough knowledge of multiple disparate trivial subjects.
All right, welcome back to an all-new episode of Come On Down, the game show podcast that's perfect for a little holiday get-together.
Where are your headphones, dude?
I'm done with the headphones.
We're just going to go ahead and change stuff up now?
Yeah, you know what? Ratings are down. We've got to figure out a way to bring the people back in. Ratings are down. Ratings are down. I feel like it's probably an ear thing. I feel like people miss seeing my ears.
Yeah.
I think that'll bring in the viewers.
Okay.
Today, we are going to be talking about a new game show on the ABC network that is called Don't.
This is the newest game show we've ever done.
I think that's probably correct, yeah.
Started in 2018? 2019?
2020, even.
What? That's got to be the
this
newest.
year. Yeah. So we're going to be talking about Don't today.
Don't?
Don't.
Apostrophe T.
D-O-N apostrophe T, don't.
Okay.
But first, there's some paper that you have here.
There's some paper that a sponsor sent to us.
I'm
and
sure.
we now have another sponsor.
All right.
Show.
And now I'm looking at this.
Okay.
And now I'm going to read it.
Great.
John. Our sponsor today tackles...
Did you say your name in the script?
Oh, that wasn't supposed
that's
to say that
just
part.
that's
Okay.
the names.
Our sponsor today tackles a unique problem that many people experience, Montney.
That's my line. Montney.
Oh.
Over 74% of people said they have a difficult time ending conversations over the phone, in person, or wherever.
Ending conversations can bring people a lot of anxiety, and elongated unnecessary goodbyes waste an average of 23 minutes a month per person.
But not anymore. Ending conversations is quick and easy with farewell cards.
Farewell cards are business cards you can hand to the person you're speaking with that feature messages that help end conversations.
Messages like, I must leave now, or I've had enough human interaction today, and my spidey sense is telling me that I need to leave.
Some of their more popular phrases include, I just had diarrhea and I'm too afraid to say it out loud, so I need to leave. It'll be our little secret. End quote. Open quote. I've had a wonderful chat with you, but I'm tired of your face now.
Wow.
End quote. And this is a card that I bought from a service that helps me end conversations because I'm too afraid of doing it and then potentially hurting your feelings. They're great. Check them out at farewell_long_goodbyes.com.
Come on down, listeners. Get 15% off the Super Anxiety Stash that comes with 500 farewell cards and a coffee mug that says, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee, or after aforementioned coffee.
Wow, what a great offer. And here, take this card.
It says, this ad is over. Let's start the podcast.
I like how I handed you my script there and you looked at it, but then you looked back to your script to read the actual line as if your piece of paper was different than the piece of paper that I just handed you.
I'm a man of habit, and that was the card that I was looking at the time.
Okay, yeah, get 15% off those things that are real.
Farewell cards. It's like hello cards.
Those aren't things, though. So don't. Let's not compare it to another thing that also doesn't
sponsor
exist.
might be hello cards.
You know, I wish our this week's sponsor was Hims.
Why is that? Do you need to get something off your head?
We talked about Hims last week. We talked about their boner pills.
Uh-huh.
And now this week, I found out I'm going bald, and I've bought everything else that Hims sells other than the boner pills.
And what could you enlighten us on what else the product line has to offer?
They've got some gummies that help with hair loss.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some cream stuff that helps with hair loss. They've got some pills that help with hair loss.
Have you done research? What is the...
I'll let you know how all of them work.
Are you supposed to take all of them at the same time?
You can. Okay. Yeah. So the pill is called finasteride. It's
that is the actual name of the chemical.
That's the name of the chemical. It's maybe more popularly known as the brand name Propecia.
Mm-hmm.
It's got an 85% chance of thickening and regrowing hair when taken
And
daily.
regrowing.
Yeah.
85%?
Yeah. Over a 2-year period in a 1 square centimeter sample area, people on finasteride had an average of 18 additional hair follicles in that 1 square centimeter. And people in the, what's the other group called? Where they don't give them the real medicine?
Placebo.
Yeah, the placebo group. They had an average of 9 lost hair follicles in that same.
So the exact opposite, essentially.
Yeah, even more. Double opposite.
Wow.
9 lost versus 18 gained.
Okay.
And first of all, how pissed would you be to find out that you were in the placebo group after 2 years of taking this fucking pill every day? And it's like, yep, well, good news. We learned that the pill works because you keep losing hair and tricked you.
Thanks for being in this study for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening with some of the people in the vaccine testing.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
dropping out because they're
for the
finding out that
COVID.
they're getting the placebo, and they're like, I was only in here to get the pill or to get the shot, and now
Right.
that I don't
And now
have
you're
it,
dead.
so now like all these tests might have some really messed up results that aren't even going to be applicable because all these people are dropping out.
Wow, I can't wait to inject that into my body.
Well, but 90% efficiency of what if they find out
If
that
it lets me,
hair growth is a side effect that they didn't catch during the trials of the vaccine?
Inject it into my veins. Give me all of it. And the lotion stuff is minoxidil, which is known by its street name Rogaine. What'd you do?
Nothing. We're good.
Okay.
So you're just taking Rogaine and Propecia,
Yeah.
but it looks cool and it probably comes in a real cool packaging.
Yeah, they'll send it to you like all at once. Well, because Propecia is prescription, so I needed to have like an e-doctor prescribe it to me.
Okay. And what is an e-doctor?
I don't know, probably like a robot that you tell your
You
symptoms
need
to.
it. Yes, you do.
And then it's like, hello, my name is Dr. Sharon King.
So it definitely was a robot then. If that was, the name was Dr. Sharon King, but it sounded like a robot name?
It sounded like well, it was just a text chat.
Oh.
But they prescribed it to me, and now I'm on all the things from Hims. One of the potential side effects of the finasteride is decreased libido. So that's probably just a way for them to sell me their boner pills as well.
That's brilliant.
Oh
my gosh.
So I'm about to be promoting Hims everywhere I go if it makes 18 hair follicles grow back for me.
Have you ever taken a boner pill, though?
No.
I imagine it's very uncomfortable.
I imagine it depends on the circumstance. Like, there are some circumstances.
Well, just think about having
where
a
it's cool to have a
hard
boner.
boner in anything but like gym shorts.
Well, don't you usually take it like right before you're about to have no shorts on?
I guess. I take it before I go to the orchestra. And then I use my own bow.
So you use it as your own little instrument.
It's like a taut rope.
Yeah. It's like when you make a banjo out of rubber bands or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that all the time.
So anyway, today's game show
is don't
talk about this game show.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
did we
it.
just win the game show?
All
then?
right. Yeah. So this premiered June 11th, 2020 on ABC. You can watch it on Hulu if you're a subscriber. That's how I watched it.
That's exactly how I watched it.
The entire first season is available on Hulu. 8 episodes, I believe. I did not watch all 8, but I watched some of them.
Wow, dude.
It is hosted by Adam Scott, the actor and comedian, not the golfer.
Mm-hmm.
Which was probably a wise choice in terms of which Adam
who
Scott
knows?
you're going to choose.
Wheel of Fortune had a weatherman, and it was very successful.
Classic throwback to a previous episode for all of our longtime listeners.
Can you technically be a longtime listener at this point with only, what do we have, 12 episodes?
We've got 15 episodes.
15?
So yes, you can. That's the cutoff
Dude,
mark.
our podcast can get a learner's permit.
Yep, that's true. Learning to drive right into
the next note.
Okay. Adam Scott's the host, the actor and comedian. He's a funny guy. I like him. He's been in good stuff. What do you think he's most famous for?
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec? You think that's what he's most famous for?
I think so.
What about Step Brothers?
Yeah, I guess most famous though? Are you saying like hits the widest audience? I guess
Yeah,
the
probably.
Step Brothers probably hit more people than Parks and Rec.
But he had a
Parks and
smaller
Rec was
role.
on for longer. It became pretty popular.
Yeah. What about Party Down? Have you
Not
watched
at
Party
all.
Down?
You told me about Party Down.
But then you've watched it?
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's very good. He was the main character.
But I feel like that's for sure the least known character he's ever played.
Probably. Watch Party Down on, I think it's on Hulu.
Is it?
I think it was on
tried to buy it.
Stars. It was a television program on Stars that was quite good, quite funny. Also featured Jane Lynch,
Ken Marino.
Martin Starr,
Mhm.
Megan Mullally replaced Jane Lynch after Jane Lynch left to be on
For Glee. Yeah.
And what's her name? The girl, the main girl in that. She was
Yeah. I
on
don't know her
Masters
name.
of Sex
She was also
afterwards.
Yeah, but she was also in the Mean Girls. She was like
She
the
wasn't
goth
Mean
girl.
Girls. She was the lesbian.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, good show. Watch it. Adam Scott. He's the host of this show. Don't. But it is also executive produced by Ryan Reynolds, and he also does a lot of voiceover on the show. Ryan Reynolds does. His official title is the Don't Master. I don't know if you were aware of that. I don't know
I
if
was
I've ever
not
said
aware of
that.
that.
But on the internet, he is credited as the Don't Master
Okay.
for the show. And he just pops in and says some snarky things pretty much here and there throughout the course of the show in a soothing Ryan Reynolds type of voice.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, of course, famous from Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Mm-hmm.
Later, Two Guys and a Girl.
And Just Friends.
Just Friends.
Did you ever see that movie?
Is it the Christmas one where
He plays the
comes
fat best
home and
friend.
he's not fat anymore?
Yeah.
And is it Anna Faris? Who's the girl in that?
No, I
No.
don't think it's Anna Faris.
Okay. But anyway, Just Friends. He was in that. He was also in The Proposal with Sandra Bullock.
Oh yeah.
I watched that one day, like at work. It
Amy
was
Smart.
Amy Smart. Poor man's Anna Faris.
Anna Faris isn't it though?
Oh, all right.
Oh, she's like the crazy girl who her
Oh,
client.
the
or, like,
famous one, right?
Yeah.
She's the actress or
Yes.
whatever. Yeah. Yep. So classic Christmas film. Probably got to watch that this season. Have you? Yeah. You? No, you don't think
It's
so?
okay, but
You
a lot of other.
you got some Christmas decorations up around here. You
We have a
guys are
lot
ready?
behind you. We have some stockings that we got on Etsy,
Etsy. Wow.
and they are. I don't know if you can reach. They probably don't reach because it'd be creek all over the floor. But they are like hand sewn. Those are hand stitched names up there. We got candlesticks that I didn't like, but we kept them because they're from a close friend, and they are good for Christmas time, not for any other.
What close friend gave you those things that you
it
don't
doesn't
like?
matter.
Why don't you
And
thank them?
we got a tree today.
Nice.
And it
Where'd
was
you get
great.
Home Depot?
Yep, $80, decent sized tree. It's
Pre-lit?
about 6
No?
feet. What?
Pre-lit?
No.
We did pre-lit. It's great.
Wait, Home Depot has pre-lit trees.
Yes.
What?
Yes. We got a pre-lit. We got the multicolor variety instead of the white. I feel like it makes it.
We got multicolored.
I feel like it makes
lights.
it feel more fun to have the multicolor
Right.
than the white lights.
We got red and silver bulbs, like
Okay.
ornaments, I guess, just kind of like generic box
Yeah.
of ornaments. And then we're gonna get multicolored lights, and we have multicolored lights. We just need to put them up. So that was our big thing we wanted to get done.
tree.
I've never had a real tree. John has had a real tree last year.
This
and
is
I
a fake
believe-
tree though.
This is a real tree.
This is real.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a fir.
Wow. Very fancy.
Yeah, we got the skirt at Target.
I didn't realize that was real. It looks so pristine.
This type of tree.
Ours is fake, just to be clear.
This is real.
Our pre-lit tree is fake.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was about to ask you, how does that
Yeah, no,
work?
no. Okay, yeah.
Oh, they drill lights into the branches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this type of tree, the fir tree, looks the fakest.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a fake tree to me. I
Right.
wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah.
I like it though. I like the real tree. My family always used to have a real tree, and then we lived in New York, and then we moved to Texas, and we continued doing the real tree thing. And
Did you ever go to the tent that had like $300 Michigan trees, or did you always go to like a Home Depot or?
we went to like a Christmas tree place.
Yeah,
like
like
not a
dealer.
Home Depot or something. Yeah, a dealer. And then because we lived in Texas, the trees just aren't they don't live here. They're not native to here, really.
Correct.
And so they shed a little bit more, I think, because it's a little bit warmer and whatnot. And then one year, the whole tree just, like, the base of it, like the trunk or whatever, like, cracked and it just fell over.
Oh my gosh.
And then we didn't have real trees anymore after that year. Because we had to replace it on the quick. So we had to buy a fake tree to replace it. And then went to fake trees, and now I've inherited the fake tree life.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a fake tree. We've started watching Christmas movies already.
We did too. We watched Grinch a couple days ago.
Which
the 2018 one? Grinch with Pharrell
the
as the
Illumination
narrator.
version. Is it good?
It's okay.
All right. We just watched Last Christmas. It came out last year. It's got Emilia Clarke.
Okay.
Khaleesi from Game of Thrones.
Oh, I never watched Game of Thrones.
And the guy from... Okay, I love how you fucking had to get that in there. I never watched Game of Thrones.
I never have. And
I just want to say that on the podcast.
And I just wanted to tell people that.
Henry Golding, I think, is the guy's name from Crazy Rich Asians, is the guy in it. And here, let me tell you about this movie.
Okay.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Okay. It doesn't look great.
So here's the thing about
but
this
it looks
movie.
better than what all those Christmas movies are on Netflix and Hulu. Like,
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Really?
It's better made.
Sorry.
Yes. It's better made. Yes. Here's the things about this movie.
Okay.
It is, so it's called Last Christmas, much like the George Michael song, Last Christmas I gave you my heart. So yeah, so that song is playing a lot in the movie.
Okay.
And Emilia Clarke plays a girl in London town who is like a Yugoslavian immigrant for no real reason whatsoever. Doesn't have any sort of accent like that at all. Even though at the beginning of the movie, we see her in 1999. She appears to be about 12 years old, and she's in Yugoslavia singing in a church.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. But she has no discernible accent whatsoever. She works at a Christmas store, and then she meets this guy. She's kind of like a party girl.
As the classic Yugoslavian woman is.
right.
Yeah.
She's kind of, her life is kind of off the rails a little bit because of her partying ways and things like that. And her suitcase has a George Michael sticker on it. So I guess we're supposed to believe that she's like a really big George Michael fan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of George Michael music playing throughout the movie in addition to Last Christmas. It's never referenced, though. She never says anything about George, or like, there's no backstory to why she really likes George Michael or anything like that. It's just there that George Michael, fine, cool, whatever. I guess for some reason that's a thing that's just not explained to us ever whatsoever.
Yeah.
So she meets this guy. He kind of is an uplifting presence to her, helping her get her life back on.
She's a garbage
track.
person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he kind of comes in and out of her life. He's kind of a weird, quirky dude, like disappears for a couple of days, and then he'll show up at her shop and see if she wants to go for a walk after work and things like
Something
that.
is afoot.
So throughout the movie, we find out that the reason that she is kind of wasting her life away like this is because she got very sick, had heart problems, needed a heart transplant, and she felt like she doesn't deserve to be alive, more or less, or she's not really alive. This isn't her real heart, or something along those lines, basically.
Pissed if I was the person that gave her the heart or passed away that she
hold
got
on.
the heart. And she was like,
End of the movie. Hey guys, turn this off if you're really looking forward to watching this movie,
check out
and
Last
you don't
Christmas.
and you don't want to be spoiled. End of the movie, we find out, because she can't track down this guy. You know why? Because he died last Christmas, and he was an organ donor, and his heart is her heart now.
Okay.
And she's been seeing ghost visions of him because she has his heart. And now she realizes that her life is still really worth living. And oh my God, last Christmas I gave you my heart. Oh my God, what a twist. What a piece of fucking shit movie this was. Don't watch it. Christmas is ruined because I watched this movie.
What is the point of the guy in the story?
She becomes a better person now. And he's dead. He got hit by a bus.
Oh, that the guy is the ghost.
The guy
Vision.
is the ghost of the heart donor.
Okay, so she has started she has started a relationship with the man who donated the heart to her.
Right. And then you see all these flashbacks when she has the moment of realization, almost like in The Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
You see all these flashbacks of moments that they shared together in public.
Yeah.
Now without him in them. And so she just looks like a fucking crazy person.
Yes. I was like, I am envisioning her looking like a psychopath.
Uh-huh. So yeah, that's the movie. Don't watch it.
Did they make love? Is there a flashback of her just making love to a nothing?
So they did make out, but they never.
They didn't flash back to that scene though.
They didn't flash
That
back
would've
to
been
that.
great.
No. Also, at one point she goes back to his place,
Whoa.
which she later shows up to.
And it's an abandoned hat store.
And there's a realtor there, like, selling it. And he's like, this place has been available for a year since the last owner died. And she's like, oh, my God. But how did she get in there and stay the night the one time that she did?
I mean, she clearly was...
She just broke in? Like,
yeah, probably.
So, yeah, don't watch it. Ryan Reynolds isn't even in it.
Sounds terrible.
Like he is in... What was the other movie that we were talking about?
Just Friends? Deadpool?
Just Friends, yes.
Okay.
He's also in Deadpool. He's probably most famous for that. Ryan Reynolds is a very good-looking guy. And he also is in a lot of movies that flop and do poorly.
Yes.
But he was in Deadpool, and that did very well.
Well, here's the thing.
So now he's allowed to be famous.
Here's the thing.
And successful.
Ryan Reynolds, in my opinion, was not given credit for being funny. And he is very, very funny.
Because he's too good-looking, do you think?
Correct. Because the first time I noticed him, or he popped onto my radar, was when I had a whole bunch of
Edibles.
Teen Beat magazines that I would keep under my bed.
Right. When he was in Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Yeah, right. It was Van Wilder.
Oh,
and it
yeah,
was great
Van
because he
Wilder.
was very snarky. Also, those movies were kind of cool. They hadn't gone quite off the rails that they have now, the National Lampoon's movie series.
Straight to DVD garbage.
Right. But I was like, this dude is super funny. And then he was kind of in some rom-coms. He went through the typical, white male in Hollywood rom-com. And then Deadpool came out, and his wit was able to shine because his face was just, a latex mask.
Oh, yeah, he was ugly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
He was
and he was
ugly
an
in
ugly
Deadpool.
dude.
So the key to being funny is to be ugly. Hims, cancel my order. I'm going ugly.
Wait, are you saying bald people are ugly?
Bald is beautiful.
Okay.
Unless I can beat this, in which case, fuck bald people.
It's not cancer. Don't say unless I can beat this.
You're right. It's worse than cancer. I would rather have cancer. Because cancer, you have an excuse for having no hair. I've got no excuse.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, genetics is kind of just like you can't control it. That's similar to you can't control if you get cancer.
Here's the thing that I
unless you're like microwaving your balls or something.
Well, if they're cold.
You need to stop putting your balls in the microwave.
What?
Yes.
I don't close it.
How does it start?
I hacked it a little bit. So I put a little thing in where the closer would go so it thinks that it's closed.
Yeah, okay.
So here's the thing. I've lived my whole life a certain way.
And why is that?
I've been young looking my whole life. And so when I was a teenager and I was trying to, date other teenage girls, that was a disadvantage to me that I looked 3 years younger than I actually was, right?
Right.
When I was, 25 and still, getting carded at the rated R movies, that was a disadvantage in my life. And people would always say, you're going to love this when you get older. You're going to love looking young when you get older.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting older and I'm losing all my fucking hair and I'm not going to look young when I'm older.
But here's the thing. You have an insurance policy that you have been building into your style since you were young.
Is that I'm a hat wearer?
You're a hat wearer.
Yeah.
And you've always been a hat wearer, and you always will be a hat wearer now that you're going bald and a very ugly motherfucker in a couple of years. So
yeah,
it's
fair.
It's not fair.
You're right. It's not fair. This is bullshit.
It was a joke. You are going to be fine, but you have to own it early. You can't be saying this insecure shit on a podcast that's going to be locked into, the interwebs forever. You've got to...
We can delete it.
Well, I've kind of enjoyed the episode, so I don't want to delete it.
Shit.
You've got to own it early. But I understand that, you and I are the same way. We need to own it by saying it and bringing it into the conversation.
I want to make sure that everybody else knows that I know.
It's
okay?
a double-edged sword because you're like, you could have gone longer without people knowing, but by you bringing it, they know earlier.
If they notice, then they know that I've already made jokes about it and it's okay with me. And it doesn't hurt me at all and I don't lose sleep or anything
Does
like
Hims
that.
have a sleep assist pill?
They do. It actually works very well.
Is it really?
Yeah. They also have a COVID test. Anyway, 25 minutes into this episode, you want to talk about Don't?
We've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we've talked about the Don't
not
Master.
every episode. I don't know. We'll see if
there's not a lot to talk about on this show.
That's
Here's
the thing, and I didn't want to say anything, but
It's not much to say.
I'm fine with us talking about other things. But yeah, no, we talk about Ryan Reynolds. Can I talk about why I don't think Adam Scott does well as a host?
Can we talk about what the show is, and then
Sure,
you can say that because
absolutely.
I kind of agree with you.
Okay.
So, it's a confusing show. I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing. Here's the part of the show where we usually sit here and I say, here's the rules of the show, here's the general structure, here's how it works. I can't really do that because who the fuck knows what the rules and the structure of this show are. There's a team of 4 people. It can be several episodes I saw. It was a family.
Right.
I think in most cases it was probably like a family, 4 people from a family. They are the contestants on the show. There are 5 rounds in which you can win $20,000 per round by completing the tasks of the round. Sometimes it is trivia. Sometimes it is a
lot of
physical
trivia
challenge type of thing.
Added with something else.
Right. Sometimes there's a trivia plus a thing.
Yeah.
And you can win $20,000 in each round. There's also a don't push button, which once a game before a round starts, you can push the don't push button. And in that round, if you are able to earn all $20,000, it doubles to $40,000.
Yeah.
But if you earn anything less than $20,000, you get half of what you earn. So if you earn $18,000, you only get $9,000.
Yeah.
And then once a game, there is a Don't You Dare challenge that pops up that is for $5,000 bonus that kind of adds a modifier to one of the games that you can either accept or reject because you might lose the $5,000 if you accept it and aren't able to accomplish that task. So the game is called Don't. Every round is don't blank. For example, some of the rounds are don't get tired, don't embarrass yourself, don't drink, don't blink, don't lose your grip, don't miss, etc. Things like that. The confusing thing to me is this game is called Don't. Everything seems to be built around this don't. And a lot of the things seem to just be really forced in there. It's like they came up with the name first.
And the concept.
And then tried to work the concept in around it. Because I am expecting this game to be more like, don't let your right foot touch the ground, and you have to do some challenge with your right foot in the air the entire time.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's not really like that. It's more like there's one called Don't Embarrass Yourself. And there's a guy suspended over a giant pool in a pair of comically large pants.
Yes.
With 3 buttons on them. And then the other 3 people on the team are answering multiple choice A or B trivia questions.
That are themed around embarrassment.
Right. And they ask the trivia questions. If they get them right, they win a certain amount of, I think like $4,000 per correct answer or something like that. If they get it wrong, one of the buttons pops off. And after 3 buttons pop off, the person gets dunked feet first into the water so that it splashes up and looks like they peed themselves.
Peed their comically large pants.
And that's it. That's there's no don't other than like don't miss the questions.
Yeah. And that one even, I saw the most recent episode that I saw. It was actually a guy on the Navy SEALs team that was responsible for
Killing
going
Bin
and
Laden?
saving
Getting
Luttrell,
lunch?
the
Oh.
guy that
Who's
lone
Luttrell?
survivor. There was a
Oh, yes.
a SEAL team that got ambushed, and there was only one survivor. He went through a crazy story, and this guy was a part of the team that went into rescue.
I read that book. No, I didn't. I watched the movie.
That book was good. The movie was good too. And they got. They didn't hit all their strikes, so they only missed 2. The game that round had ended.
And then they still dumped the guy?
They still dropped the guy down to the pool, and he got soaked.
That's some bullshit.
I was like, what is the point of this?
I watched another episode and the exact same thing happened. So yeah, like I said, the rules don't make any sense. The don'ts don't necessarily make sense. They're the don't blink one where they're like, you can't blink.
Yes.
That makes sense to me. Don't blink. I think that's it's like they came up with that one and they were like, yeah, let's make a whole game show like that. And then they got approved based on that. And they were like, fuck, we have to make a whole game show on this.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anything else other than don't blink. Don't drink was another one where they feed the people hot peppers.
Yeah.
And
while they're walking on a
treadmill with a heat lamp above their head.
I think that the treadmill was so that something was happening. You can't just have somebody stand there and chew peppers like a timer goes down.
And then they were offered beverages and had to
Adam's
decline
like, this
them.
milk was so good, right? Do you
Right.
want it? And the person's like, no, I'm not going to drink milk
for $4,000.
$4,000
Yeah.
sacrifice.
Yeah. And so that was one on a couple episodes where there was the $5,000 don't you dare, where it was like all the and again, by the way, so in this thing there's one guy doing that and then 3 other people standing there going, don't do it, don't drink it, you're doing great. But in the don't you dare challenge, they had to eat some like wasabi thing also to add an extra $5,000 if all 3 of them did it.
I would be livid
if they didn't do it
the
and I
other
was
3
eating all the
people
fucking
watching
like
me
dragon
eat
peppers.
Yeah. The thing about that one, real quick before we move on.
Yeah.
That has to be the last challenge, right? That would be so hard.
To continue on with the show after that?
Yes. I mean, people have serious issues. Like some people will have to go to the bathroom and like
are you speaking from personal experience here?
Anytime I eat something spicy, I immediately rock it out.
Okay.
Hot flames.
Is that rocket one word? You rock it
out.
Hot flames?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you rocked it out or something.
No, I don't know. I've never had
I
somebody
you've
see
got
me
those
have
cool
diarrhea
headphones.
and go, dude, you rocked that diarrhea.
I have never seen anybody diarrhea like that, man. You
awesome.
rocked that
dude,
diarrhea.
the way you cried afterwards, it was great.
Or you just died in the bathroom stall.
That's the only thing I could think. That's the only thing I could think watching this Don't Drink. I was like, this person's the rest of the day is... So I was watching, trying to see if they had interactions afterwards. I couldn't tell.
If that person was like sweating profusely
to the side.
like bent over. Yeah, so you do the 5 challenges, and however much money you've accumulated at the end, you win up to $125,000 if you get all maximum money and the proper don't push button double and don't you dare 5,000 bonus. And that's it. There's not like a final round where you're risking your money or trying to double or nothing or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's just the last round is just another round where you can earn money. And that's kind of disappointing to me. It was just there was no climax of the show. It was like, oh, okay.
There's no climax. There's no hard cutoff or conclusion, or there's no consistency with the shows. The final round isn't always the same game. It's not always the same round. So it's just kind of like, oh, that's how much you won. All right, everybody have a good night.
Right. And the final thing in this show might have been the thing that was the second challenge, the last episode.
A lot of recycling of these games.
Yeah, I mean, there are 8 episodes, 5 each. That's 40 rounds played so far. And there were probably only like 15 or 20 total games. So a lot of them were repeated 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. And they don't do it right away. If I remember correctly, the first 2 or 3 episodes
was all new
of them
stuff.
were new. So we're like, oh, it's gonna be a new one each time. And then I think the Don't Drink came up, and we're like, Oh, okay.
I remember.
So it's either
this.
start like that or don't start like that. Because as an audience, you're expecting new games each time if you
Yeah,
watch
now
the
you're let
first.
down.
Yeah.
And the ratings for the first couple episodes were pretty solid, and then they started.
Did they?
Yeah, they started going
no.
down after that. So I don't know, but this entire show has aired in quarantine world, so I don't know if any rules matter or if anything makes sense in terms of TV viewership or anything like that. We don't know. We had some discussion when we selected this game about whether it's renewed for a future season.
I think I had a fever dream or some sort of nightmare because I specifically remember either consciously or subconsciously reading that Don't was canceled. So I thought, oh, it'd be funny. Let's do a eulogy episode where we're giving our eulogies for this show. Couldn't find that information anywhere. So I either dreamt it or I read it about
So
something
thank God
else.
I'm going bald. Otherwise, we would have had nothing to talk about on this episode.
We would have talked about more Christmas stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot more. What other Christmas movies have I watched? I watched that new lesbian Christmas movie on Hulu. Much better than Last
John
Christmas.
liked it.
Much better than Last Christmas.
Yeah, that was
Solid
written by
movie.
the girl who was in Veep, her daughter's girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
It was Kristen Stewart
Yeah, she was in it.
was the main character of it. It was good. It was like a Christmas rom-com, but they're lesbians. That was the twist. The twist was they're lesbians. in
We're
this
not
one.
even there yet where we can't just say it's a normal movie. That's the twist.
But I mean, the whole point is it kind of was a normal movie, except for that they were lesbians, which is normal.
I was
That's
going to
the
say,
point.
careful.
That's the point.
Okay.
It was a good movie. It was pretty solid.
We watched one last year, and there was a... Oh, no, the one we watched this year, it was a queen, or a princess, I believe, and her long-separated twin sister, who was just a normal baker lady.
Oh, Princess Switch,
And they come together.
starring Vanessa Hudgens.
And
They're not related at all. They just look the same.
that's stupid. They
Princess
are related
Switch
because
2
they're the same person.
Princess Switch 2 is coming out this year, and there's a third one that looks just like them. That's also not related
What's
to
the
them.
twist for these? How can you... Those are the most extreme... princess switches with the north. I don't understand what the other thing could be. I guess the baking, could they change
One
the
was a
area?
baker and one was a princess, right? Or a queen?
yeah,
or
one was a
something,
baker
right?
and one was a princess.
And
And the princess had a very normal, not fake accent like this.
This is the best Vanessa Hudgens can do, man. Give her a break. She's from a High School Musical. Although Zac Efron is phenomenally talented.
Right.
You know what? Also pretty funny, even though he's good looking.
Right.
What a twist that was.
I did not like it. It was. I guess it was a fun movie, but
It was a Netflix original, I believe.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we give it a little slack because it's like
isn't that crazy?
the
though?
Netflix Christmas movies are kind of like maybe a slight rung above Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yeah, and also you can tell just visually. There's something about the cameras they use
Because
or
it's
how
shot
they
on
shoot
one
it.
stage over 5 days.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think that's basically
Okay.
the reason is it mostly is shot on one stage in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of those, or there's 3 of those Christmas Prince movies also on Netflix.
I haven't seen them. If you want to see Princess Switch, just watch Parent Trap. It's better.
Which one?
The one with the girl who lost her life to drugs.
So the original? Or do you mean Lindsay Lohan?
Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't. Adam Scott is the host.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of energy from Adam Scott in this show.
There is zero energy for Adam Scott. There's more energy from Ryan Reynolds as the narrator. And I don't know who thought Adam Scott would be a good host, but Adam Scott is the perfect straight man in a comedy. His timing is good. He
can be very snarky.
very snarky, very under the breath comments. He was funny in Step Brothers, but he kind of played an absurd character a little bit.
Yeah,
he
he's
played
kind
a
of an
very
asshole.
mean asshole, yeah. But I think he's perfect. In Parks and Rec, he's great. In Party Down, that was like quintessential Adam Scott perfection.
What about Big Little Lies? We didn't mention that one.
I don't watch that show.
Okay.
Similar to... Is it as cool that I say I have never watched Big Little Lies
As
when I say
Game
I've
of
never watched
Thrones?
Game of Thrones?
No, I don't think it's. I don't
Okay.
think you seem as cool quote unquote cool.
All right, good.
By not seeing that one.
Okay. But what do you think? I think he's a perfect straight man in comedies. I do not think he is a good host for the game show.
Yeah, I mean, the whole structure of the game show and everything just didn't, I don't know, it didn't quite work for me in the way that it was presented, and it was almost a little weird that there was also like additional Ryan Reynolds voiceover happening in the background when we already have a host for the show. So
probably because somebody was like, he's not going to be able to cut it for host. We need to throw someone else on.
Bonus host.
So yeah.
So yeah, it was a little weird, and I really like Adam Scott, but I don't know, the whole thing just felt a little bit lifeless to me. The energy wasn't there, and it had like a live audience and 4 people kind of going crazy trying to win this stuff, so it should have been very high energy.
Yeah.
And I also think part of it is probably the editing also, that just seemed to suck a little of the life out of it. It didn't have a very high energy editing. It was I don't know, just all dragged down a little bit.
And some of the bits because some of the stuff there was, quote, interaction with the Ryan Reynolds voiceover and Adam Scott, or, you know, Ryan Reynolds would be making fun of Adam Scott or something about the set. And it seemed like Adam Scott was not aware of these bits. So his reactions didn't seem to go with what Ryan Reynolds was saying.
Yeah.
It was like they gave Ryan Reynolds the cut after they had mastered it and was like, hey, here's
just
some
fill in
spots.
some gaps here.
Yeah.
It was like Too Hot to Handle. Did you watch that on Netflix?
Explain. I don't, maybe.
They took a bunch of people, many of them British, but many of them American, and then they said they couldn't fuck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or kiss, or tickle,
you lost money.
or anal. Somebody lost a lot of points for that.
You lost money for tickling, right? That's what you meant?
Yeah.
You lost money for each of those things that you did on this private island where all of the hot, slutty people are. Mm-hmm. And that show just had a random, like, host woman voiceover that has never appeared on the show at any point. It was like a fake
Alexa.
But, well, no, so there was the fake Alexa thing, but there was also just a sassy black woman doing commentary that, again, wasn't on the island with them or anything, didn't ever appear visually, but would just be like, let's see what these two got up to. Oh, you're in trouble now. People are gonna be angry.
And they're just like in a shower banging and just like, ching, 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 ching.
Exactly. So it's just weird that there's like clearly post added voiceover stuff like this show did. By the way, remember that was like in this quarantine. That it seems like it was. Remember a couple of years ago when Tiger King came out? No, that was like yesterday. Yeah, so I don't know. I was a little let down by it overall. What about you?
I wanted to like it, and we thoroughly enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Whenever they first start to recycle, that's when we're like
started falling off the bandwagon.
I thought that I totally agree that the timing was weird. The editing made it very strange, and I totally agree that it sucked a lot of the life or jokes out of it. I think it's a fun watch for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
But I definitely can't see myself being
This can't be on every night like Jeopardy.
No.
Or Wheel of Fortune. You can't.
Definitely not.
You can't watch this.
I mean, if you don't get any
nonstop.
energetic contestants, that episode would have 0 energy.
Yeah. Well, and by its nature, I mean, it's an hour-long show. So with commercials, it's like 43 minutes or whatever. And again, we mentioned there are 5 rounds. So each of these rounds is 9 minutes long. So for 9 minutes, you're just watching a guy eat peppers with nothing. There's no additional challenge on top of it. There's not answer these trivia questions while eating these peppers. It's just a guy eating peppers for 9 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's only 5 peppers. So it's like 2 minutes per pepper that he's sitting there just chewing on a jalapeno.
Yeah. Also, the Don't Blink was equally as anticlimactic as that.
Yeah, it just had like
And the
lights
one I
flashing
saw,
in people's eyes.
it was 4 people, and one of the girls blinked 14 times.
What is the time limit?
It's a minute.
Did you blink 14 times in a minute?
Yes!
That's the word. That's awful.
And the one guy, the brother, I believe, didn't blink once, and that's when they offered up the "Don't you dare!" And he was like, 10 more seconds of not blinking. Yeah, we'll take it. Sure.
Right.
And he crushed it. I'd have been so mad. I was just sitting here watching it, like, how are you still blinking?
It's like, does she not know that she's blinking somehow?
Maybe it was like kind of like a flutter, but it wasn't like a small flutter. It was a flutter blink, a flutter blink.
Yeah, I think the first episode had a "Don't blink" one in it. That might have been the same one, but yeah. So some people on our Reddit, I saw people win $99,000 the very last episode.
Oh, I never saw something.
They won $99K. So that's worth it for 4 people. After taxes, that's a couple $100 a person. $25K, I guess. So not bad there. But so I guess for your criteria of what are the stakes, it's got good stakes, money wise. You can win a fairly significant.
But
amount
money's
of money
not
on this
everything,
show.
and I don't know why you focus on it every single time we talk about prizes.
So what is, because we're talking about prizes? That's why I focus on it. Because you said
Every time
you've said I wouldn't get out of bed for this.
Every time in the podcast you bring up prizes, and you're always like, I mean, 100K is fine. It's fine. I don't think I would do this game show because they don't give you athletic attire, and you have to do very physical challenges.
Yeah, you're in your khakis.
I don't want to wear business casual and go and try and go on a treadmill that's going sideways at 10 miles per hour and then going to shoot a basketball on a table that's turning.
It sounds fun, though.
It sounds great, but I don't want my chukka boots to get scuffed.
Well, why don't you just dress appropriately for knowing
That
what
is
kind of game show
appropriate.
that you're going on?
Look at what other people were wearing. They were wearing nice button-up flannels.
They're idiots. They don't care. They care about looking good. They're probably subscribed to everything on forhims.com. They don't give a shit about performance. All they care about is looking good on TV.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think this show was sustainable. I don't want to say good because I thoroughly
It's enjoyable enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would work.
I don't hate myself for watching it.
I think it would work if they made up new games every time. And I know that is an unrealistic and unfair ask on a writers group, but I mean,
do it.
At least in I don't know.
Or like change them up a bit. It would be the same game and it would be exactly the same. It wouldn't be like, I've seen shows that kind of have some more physical challenge type of things like this, where they'll modify a game that they've done before a little bit. They'll modify what the score total you need is, or add in a little bit more difficult thing, or tone it down a little bit in this area. But this was just straight up the same exact things when they brought them back. So yeah, once you've seen it all, it becomes a little bit less interesting because you're like, I've seen this already. I don't care if this person cannot blink better than that person from 3 weeks ago.
Right.
So
it's like The Chase. This is what plagues men that go on, quote, the chase.
What's the
in
chase?
Their dating world. They're just trying to have intercourse. And the chase is going on dates.
Oh, it's like guys
acting
that
like
love
you're
the chase and
interested.
don't like settling down. Is that what you mean?
Right.
How does that apply to this? I didn't follow.
This game show is like a chase. Like you're constantly...
But you don't want to settle down with the same game?
Right.
You want to find the next best one?
Exactly.
Okay. I follow. I get it. Like in the movie Last Christmas. Which, by the way, was...
you know that won an Academy Award, right?
It won 11,
For writing.
11 Academy Awards. It was for writing. It was written by Emma Thompson. You know, that famous old British lady.
She did Murder, She Wrote?
No, Angela Lansbury. Emma Thompson. She's in Love Actually, for example.
Oh, yes.
She's the sister of the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And she's married to Snape.
Yeah.
and he's cheating on her with the secretary or whatever.
An asshole, yeah.
So she wrote the movie.
Okay.
She produced the movie.
Okay.
She plays the mom in the movie.
Wow.
She has an accent. She has some Eastern Bloc type of
Yugoslavian-ish?
accent. Yes.
Okay.
But also, Emilia Clarke is way too young to have lived in Yugoslavia because it disbanded in like 1992. So that part of it I wasn't really tracking either. But they said that she was from Yugoslavia and grew up there until she was a young girl. But again, they showed her in a church singing when she appeared to be like 13.
Yes.
And it said Yugoslavia, 1999. First scene of the movie. Yugoslavia, 1999. In a church. Looks like a very fancy, like, Catholic church. Stained glass windows and everything.
Uh-huh.
And the choir is singing. And the girl, who's a young Emilia Clarke, is singing. But she's singing, like, a pop Britney Spears sounding church song. Because the whole thing is she loves singing also. But they're not going to sing songs like that in a church that looks like that.
No.
They're all in robes and stuff. Like, listen, I grew up Catholic until I almost got kicked out of the church.
You got kicked out of the church?
No, I didn't get kicked. I got reprimanded.
Moved to a different church.
No. So when you're Catholic, you have confirmation when you're Christian. You're baptized when you're like a baby, or
against your will,
or in one of the weird religions now when you're an adult. And if you follow one of those weird religions, find a new one.
There's so many.
There's so many
Get a new
that
one.
you don't get in a baby pool as an adult in. So you get baptized as a baby, which means like your parents and godparents are committing you to Jesus.
Heaven.
Right. So if you die, you go to heaven
Yeah.
when you don't know any better. And then when you're older and can understand about Jesus, you have confirmation. So in many like Christian religions, that's like when you're like 11 or 12. But in Catholicism, they really want to make sure that you're ingrained in this shit. So I was like 17 when I got confirmed.
Cool.
So you have to go to like church class. CCD. I don't know what CCD stands for. Catechism class day. I don't know. You got to go like every week basically until you're 17. And so I did this. And when I was like 15, probably 14 or 15, we were in CCD and they were teaching us about, Jesus and Mary, who was Jesus's mom, for those of you that haven't read the book
Right.
or seen the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Mary was Jesus's mom, and they said how amazing it was for Mary to take on this, great responsibility of birthing Jesus as, a virgin. And they said, and back at this time, she's probably a 13-year-old
Prostitute.
No, dude.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh.
Golly, we're going to hell. She's probably a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, okay.
Taking on such a big responsibility. And I don't know if you know this, but I was kind of like a class clown in school.
A little snarky boy.
Because I liked attention a lot.
Yeah.
And so I said, wait, Mary was only 13 when she got pregnant with Jesus? And the teacher said, yeah. Isn't that amazing? And I said, whoa, how old was God? And the class kind of got stopped down and I was asked to leave. And then
Did people laugh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a funny statutory rape joke.
Yeah.
And then next day the church called my mother.
Oh my God.
And we had to come down and have like a discussion with the church leadership about, by the way, not necessarily to like discipline me, but about them explaining why, well, first of all, back in these days, like statutory rape wasn't a thing. Like
my God.
So they're like, it was normal for 13-year-olds to get knocked up all the time. I was like, Okay. Again, I was making a joke.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for the justification of why it's okay for God to bang it out with a 13-year-old, which is what you're providing me right now. And you know how they didn't have sex, and she virgin. It was her first name was Virgin. Of course, she didn't have sex with God or anybody else ever. It got pregnant.
You gotta have reverse sex though when you give birth to a child.
A baby coming out is reverse sex. Is what you call it?
So.
Okay.
It's the same parts.
Or some of them, I guess. But yeah, so that was how I almost got kicked out of the Catholic Church, and how I know that you're not singing songs like that in the Catholic Church. You're singing songs in like Latin and shit.
So
that I
they
can't
ask
remember
you
the
to
words.
leave? Like you couldn't go to CCD classes?
No, I was allowed to come back. I just had to have this like discussion about.
I think that they weren't upset
to learn how I was wrong and stuff like that.
Yeah, they weren't upset at the joke. They were upset that you questioned
That I'm
their
figuring
teachings.
things out on my own.
You're
here.
figuring things. Yeah, we've got a defector.
I got confirmed with only a few objections amongst the congregation. Yeah, you know, like when they get married and they say, does anybody object to this union?
Yeah.
They did the same thing when I got confirmed, and there were a few people in the crowd that were not happy about it at all.
Oh my gosh. But it was a sort of a Congress situation, like 2/3 had to object for you to...
Exactly. So luckily 38 states ratified my confirmation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I know that you don't sing like that in Catholic Church. And then I got confirmed, and some ghost gave me their heart.
Wow.
And it was George Michael's ghost, and that's why he's dead now.
That would have been a great movie.
If it was George Michael's ghost the whole time.
And
then
she goes crazy because all she hears is Last Christmas everywhere in her head, in stores.
By the way, not even a good Christmas song. Here's what happened. Emma Thompson obviously just is a big George Michael fan. A big fan of... They started with Last Christmas. Okay, let's make a movie. And then they went from there and then just figured it out
Which I
as
think
they went.
kind of ties it up.
Don't.
Because that's
exactly how they did Don't. So I think those two... I'm really glad that we were able to tie these two together, and everything came full circle.
Full circle.
And Don't. I give it a 1.5 buzzers out of 5 because it's watchable.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say it's must-watch TV.
I'm going to go a little crazy on this.
Whoa.
I'm going to go 2 buzzers for the viewer. Okay. I'm going to go 3.5 buzzers for the contestants.
It would be fun to participate in. I agree with that for sure.
I think it would be very fun to be there. You get to meet Adam Scott.
Yep.
Probably not Ryan Reynolds, but he is an executive producer, so maybe he's on set, making sure things are going well. That would be fun to meet both those guys.
I like how that you could meet famous people, maybe, which is why do game shows exist here. Otherwise.
I think it would be fun. I think it'd be fun to compete. And yeah, those are my buzzer ratings.
Okay, so you've got a split, a 2 and a 3.5. 2 for viewing, 3.5 for participating.
Yes.
I don't do that shit. I'm just giving it a straight 1.5.
Straight 1.5.
Straight 1.5. Maybe check it out. There's entertaining stuff in it.
I would watch the first 2 episodes and then never watch it again.
All right. There you go. And then you just go watch Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds.
There's so many better movies.
No, go watch Just Friends. Okay. I'd recommend Just Friends. All right, that wraps up this episode of Come On Down, the game show podcast. That was Don't watch it.
Don't.
Oh, got 'em. Man, they just really set that up for the game show reviewers out there.
I mean, it was a low fruit, and we had to plug it.
It was hanging.
Yeah.
And just put it right in the microwave. So... check us out on Instagram at Come On Down Show. Also on Facebook, same thing.
Not getting a lot of messages on our Gmail.
Not getting a lot of messages at comeondownshow@gmail.com. If you guys just want to send us a G-chat or a Hangout, a Google Hangout, just hit us up.
Would love to throw down a hang with you.
We'll hang. And until next time, we're just going to hang out by the microwave.
Get a real tree. Don't watch Last Christmas. Maybe watch Just Friends. Send us a message on Gmail. Did you have any other?
No, I think we covered it all.
Okay, all right.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.